Hey everybody, another day of poems with Grandma. Day 10, I believe. And I'm going to read you a bunch of poems from the noted poet Shel Silverstein in his book, Where the Sidewalk Ends. He is also kind of like the book we read about the insects. He did all the pictures as well as all the poems. He doesn't have a picture for every one of his poems, but he has a lot of them. Where the Sidewalk Ends. Poems and drawings of Shel Silverstein. Invitation. If you are a dreamer, come in. If you are a dreamer, a wisher, a liar, a hoper, a prayer, a magic bean buyer, if you're a pretender, come sit by my fire. For we have some flax golden tales to spin. Come in, come in. This one's called Magic, and it doesn't have any pictures with it. Sandra's seen a leprechaun, and Eddie touched a troll. Laura danced with witches once, and Charlie found goblins' gold. Donald heard a mermaid sing. Susie spied an elf, but all the magic I have known, I made inside myself. Pickle me, tickle me too. Pickle me, tickle me too, went for a ride in a flying shoe. Hooray! What fun! It's time we flew, said Pickle me, tickle me too. Ickle was captain and Pickle was crew, and Tickle served coffee and mulligan stew, and higher and higher and higher they flew. Pickle me, tickle me too. Pickle me, tickle me too, over the sun beyond the blue. Hold on! Stay in! I hope we do, cried Pickle me, tickle me too. Pickle me, tickle me too, never return to the world they do, and nobody knows what happened to dear Pickle me, tickle me too. This poem is called Smart, and there's not a picture with it. My dad gave me a $1 bill because I'm as smart as sun. And I swapped it for 2 shiny quarters because 2 is more than 1. And then I took the quarters and traded them to Lou for 3 dimes. I guess you don't know that 3 is more than 2. Just then along came old blind Bates, and just because he can't see, he gave me 4 nickels for my 3 dimes. 4 is more than 3. And I took the nickels to Hiram Combs down at the feed store, and that fool gave me 5 pennies for them. And 5 is more than 4. And I went and showed my dad, and he got red in the cheeks and closed his eyes and shook his head, too proud of me to speak. Boa Constrictor. And this one I learned as a song. I'm being swallowed by a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor, a boa constrictor. I'm being swallowed by a boa constrictor, and I don't like it very much. Oh no, it's nibbling my toe. Oh gee, it's up to my knee. Oh my, it's up to my thigh. Oh fiddle, it's up to my middle. Oh heck, it's up to my neck. Oh dread. This poem is called Sick. I cannot go to school today, said little Peggy Ann McKay. I got the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My toenails are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox, and there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu, a cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin, and my belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle sprained, my appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb, I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my spine is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbows bent. My spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk. I cannot hear. There's a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail in my heart. What? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye. I'm going out to play. This one is called Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout, who would not take the garbage out. Sarah Cynthia Sylvia Stout would not take the garbage out. She'd scour the pans and scrape the pans, candy the yams and spice the hams, and though her daddy would scream and shout, she simply would not take the garbage out. And so it piled up to the ceilings, coffee grounds, potato peelings, brown bananas, rotten peas, chunks of sour cottage cheese. It filled the cans, it covered the floor, it cracked the window and blocked the door with bacon rinds and chicken bones and drippy ends of ice cream cones, prune pits, pitch pits, orange peel, gloppy glubs of cold oatmeal, pizza crusts and withered greens, soggy beans and tangerines, crusts of black buttered toast, gristly bits of beefy roast. The garbage rolled on down the hall. It raised the roof. It broke the wall. Greasy napkins, cookie crumbs, globs of gooey bubble gum, cellophane from green bologna, rubbery blubbery macaroni, peanut butter caked and dry, curdled milk and crusts of pie, moldy melons, dried up mustard, eggshells mixed with lemon custard, cold French fries and rancid meat, yellow lumps of cream of wheat. At last the garbage reached so high it finally touched the sky, and all the neighbors moved away, and none of her friends would come to play. And finally Sarah Cynthia Stout said, "Okay, I'll take the garbage out." But then, of course, it was too late. The garbage reached across the street from New York to the Golden Gate, and there in the garbage she did hate. Poor Sarah met an awful fate that I cannot right now relate, because the hour is much too late. But children, remember Sarah Stout, and always take the garbage out. This is one of my favorites. It's called The Unicorn, and there is a group who turned this one into a song that was played out on the radio for many years. It's called The Unicorn. A long time ago, when the earth was green, there were more kinds of animals than you'd ever seen, and they run around free while the world was being born, but the loveliest of all was the unicorn. There were green alligators and long-necked geese, some humpy-backed camels and some chimpanzees, some cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, the loveliest of all was the unicorn. And the way Shel Silverstein wrote cats and rats and elephants, he made it one long word. Cats and rats and elephants. So you're supposed to say it like that. Cats and rats and elephants. Like it's one word and not 3 and 4 and 5. But Lord seen some sinning, and it caused him pain. He said, "Stand back, I'm gonna make it rain." He said, "Hey, brother Noah, I tell you what you do. Go and build me a floating zoo. And you take 2 alligators and a couple of geese, 2 humpy-backed camels and 2 chimpanzees. Take 2 cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, Noah, don't forget my unicorn." Now Noah was there, and he was answering the calling, and he finished up the ark just as the rain started falling. He marched in the animals 2 by 2, and he called out as they went through, "Hey, Lord, I got you 2 alligators and your couple of geese, your humpy-backed camels and your 2 chimpanzees. I got your cats and rats and elephants, but Lord, I'm so forlorn, 'cause I just don't see no unicorn." Old Noah looked out through the driving rain, but the unicorns were hiding, playing silly games. They were kicking and splashing in the misty morn. Oh, them silly unicorns. The goats started goating and making, snakes started snaking. The elephant started elephant, and the boat started shaking. The mouse started squeaking and the lion started roaring, and everyone's aboard but the unicorn. I mean the green alligators and the long-necked geese, the humpy-backed camels and the chimpanzees. Noah cried, "Close the door, 'cause the rain is pouring in. We just can't wait for them unicorn." Then the ark started moving, and it drifted with the tide, and the unicorns looked up from the rock and cried, and the water came up and sort of floated them away, and that's why you've never seen a unicorn to this day. You'll see a lot of alligators and a whole mess of geese. You'll see humpy-backed camels, lots of chimpanzees. You'll see the cats and rats and elephants, but sure as you're born, you're never going to see a unicorn. Keep looking back at my notes. This one's called Little Blue Engine, and this is about the story of the little engine that could. And there's no picture. The little blue engine looked up the hill. His light was weak and his whistle was shrill. He was tired and small and the hill was tall, and his face blushed red as he softly said, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." So he started up with a chug and a strain, and he puffed with might and main, and slowly he climbed a foot at a time, and his engine coughed as he whispered soft, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." With a squeak and a creak and a toot and a sigh, with an extra hope and an extra try, he would not stop. Now he neared the top, and strong and proud he cried out loud, "I think I can, I think I can, I think I can." He was almost there when crash, smash, bash, he slid down and bashed into his engine hash on the rocks below, which goes to show if the track is tough and the hill is tough, thinking you can just ain't enough. But sometimes it is. And that's why we always tell you, keep trying. The last one is called My Beard. My beard grows down to my toes. I never wear no clothes. I wraps my hair around the bear, and down the road I goes. I think I'll do one more. This one's called Melinda May. Have you ever heard of tiny Melinda May, who ate a monstrous whale? She thought she could, she said she would, so she started right in at the tail. And everyone said, "You're much too small." But that didn't bother Melinda at all. She took little bites and she chewed very slow, just like a good girl should. And at 89 years, she ate that whale because she said she would. Where the Sidewalk Ends by Shel Silverstein.